Hello Internet, and welcome back to another episode of Pokémon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. In the last video, we made it here to Fallarbor Town after exploring all of Route 113. And we got ourselves our newest team member hatched from an egg, Skarmory, who doesn't have a nickname, but soon will, based on your suggestions. So we'll get there. Yeah, things were pretty good. I'm really excited to raise Skarmory from an egg. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm kind of happy this is how it turned out. I'm a little bummed that I'm not going to get to use weak armor, but I think it's worth it just to have a team member raise from an egg. I'm fine going with a little bit of a lame strat, whatever. Going to head in and heal first thing. Been a while since I healed on screen. And I want to talk to this lady who's blocking the PC. Oh, hello. You are? Okay, you're Aura. I can see that you're a trainer, so that means you used the Pokémon storage system I developed. How I arrived at that conclusion is a simple deductive process. You spoke to me because you wanted to access something on this PC. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Lynette. Honestly, I'm glad to meet you. It's great you're using the storage system. If you could, please visit me at my home. My house is on Route 114. Okay, she upgraded the previous version of the Pokemon storage system. We'll go visit her soon. There's also this bug maniac. That's how you attract wild Pokemon, then I don't need this anymore. Give it a try if you like. He will give us a free jar of honey every day. The AHA Pokemon Journal gives us a lot of useful information, doesn't it? By the way, I have more honey at home, so I'll bring some more tomorrow. Yeah, so we can get more every day. And this just tells us you can use Sweet Scent instead of honey, so yeah. Just get a Surskit with Sweet Scent, it'll be so much easier. There are various reasons to go for, like, finding hordes, so yeah. Aura, come here. Everything's a mess. It's ridiculous. Professor Cozmo. They say that he was just up and kidnapped by some nuts calling themselves Team something or other. Those shady characters, they called themselves Team Magma. It seems as though they plan to do something with the meteorite that the professor has been researching. The professor is just too gullible. If you show the least bit of interest in his research, he would happily go with you anywhere without question. Aura, I know it's a lot to ask, but we've got to help Cosmo. I can't just stand by here and watch them use his life's work for their own corrupt reasons. I'm going to head to Meteor Falls right away. Come catch up to me as soon as you can. I'm counting on you, Aura. Something to keep in mind. Professor Cosmo is taken to Meteor Falls beyond Route 114. Please save the professor from that Team Magma. Can see various things in his house. It doesn't look like we can look at a lot of it other than the meteor right there. Maybe the telescope up here? This house is, like, very different from how it was in Ruby and Sapphire. They added a lot to it. And I've noticed that with a lot of the houses that are, like, homes to specialists. The glass workshop on Route 113 was another one where, like, you could see all the equipment for working with the, like, volcanic ash there. It's really neat. Hello. Have you already challenged Flannery, the leader of Lava Ridge Gym? The girl's grandfather was famous. He was one of the Elite Four in the Pokemon League at one point. It wouldn't surprise me to see Flannery become a great trainer in her own right. Well, we haven't fought her yet, but we will someday. We'll go after Brendan soon, but first there's always stuff to do first. This guy's talking about the shady people, but we're going to head into the contest hall. Normally, in the contest hall, there's somebody who will give us a TM. Unfortunately, here, it's only this guy who will give us a berry blender for our base. I just love making Pokeblocks. In the old days, it used to take 4 of us to make a Pokeblock with this machine. So yeah, we have a berry blender we could put in. That is how you would make Pokeblocks in the original Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. And then there was also Berry Crush, which was a thing in Fire Red and Leaf Green, but that's completely separate. But unfortunately, there hasn't been a Kanto game that allows you to do things like make secret bases and such, so that's just not an option for us. In here, having a hard time deciding if I should make my Skitty evolve or not. I only have to use this Moonstone is all. It's so hard to decide though. If I make it evolve, it will become much stronger, but it'll look different too. Oh, don't worry, I won't become much stronger. This nugget I found here, I suppose I ought to just sell it, huh? Let me share a little nugget of wisdom, kid. Don't hold on to your assets too long. Cash is king in this world. Okay, you're one of the worst people. That's okay. They sell quick balls, dusk balls, and dive balls here. Quick balls are one of the best Pokeballs in the series. They have, I believe, a 4 times catching modifier if used on the first turn. Let me fact check that. It has a 5 times catch rate modifier when used on the first turn. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, buy these if you have the money. Obviously, I don't have the money right now because somebody decided to spend all their money on repeat balls, but hey, that is how it works. Dusk balls have a 1 times modifier when used at most times of day, but if they're used at night or in a cave, they have a 3 times catch rate modifier. This is another really good one because if you just play at night, this is better than a normal Pokeball. Oops. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, play at night, and this is better than a normal Pokeball, which is pretty good. Lastly, we have the Dive Ball. This has a 3.5 times catch rate if used on a Pokemon you find while surfing, fishing, or underwater. We'll get to most of that later, but hey, for fishing encounters, you can use this. I'm gonna... do I want to use all my money on Dusk Ball or Quick Balls? Yes, I do. They're just that good, and like they have a pretty cool design. I'm not gonna like say they're my favorite or anything, but I know a lot of people really do like the design of the Quick Ball, so I guess I'll get it. Maybe we'll catch a team member in it someday. Maybe. Probably not if I have any say in it, but when do I have a say in it, really? I usually just use what I have and then get lucky and catch it in what I want. See, take a look. This is my precious Marill. It's slick and smooth and plushy. If you, too, have a Marill with you, you can pet its slick and smooth and plushy fur as much as you want. That is true. I was going to say that's not true, but yeah, no, it actually is. Gabby and Ty lost to somebody named Alice. That's a pretty classic thing for them to do. The team of Bootops and Kyogre. Yeah, I imagine they did lose. I'm the Pokemon Move Maniac. I know every move Pokemon can learn by leveling up, and I can teach them to your Pokemon. I'm totally into collecting heart scales right now, so bring me one, and I'll share the maniacal magic of moves. Oh sweet, a heart scale, right enough. You'd like me to teach your Pokemon a move? Sure. So, this guy will teach you moves that your Pokemon previously knew, specifically anything from a level that they would have learned before the move they're at now. This also includes egg moves, so yeah, you can reteach those if you have a Pokemon forget them, which is pretty nice. This may seem unnecessary, but certain Pokemon learn moves at levels lower than you can obtain them. For example, Pokemon that evolve through level up can't learn the moves that they would normally have in their move pool at level 1 unless you go to this guy. So I genuinely say it's worth coming to this guy every single time your Pokemon evolve just to see if there's anything your Pokemon can learn that you didn't have a chance to give them before. I'm gonna go ahead and check for everyone we have now. I just so happen to have like over 10 heart scales because I played through the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire demo where you get a gift of 10 heart scales for playing through it. So yeah, that's pretty nice. We could go back here and teach Force Palm if I decide I want to change my mind on that, but probably not gonna do that because I like Puff's moveset the way it is now. Yeah, you can see Slate can relearn Focus Punch. I'm actually going to keep that in mind because there was a funny strategy I had in mind involving that, but we can't access it just yet. Obviously, Skarmory just hatched. I'm not expecting her to have anything she could learn here. Yeah, Peck. No thanks. We got rid of that for a reason, actually. But it is worth coming here to check every time your Pokemon evolve, just in case there's something really cool. Torkoal learning Shell Smash through here is just one such example. And yeah, that's all for Fallarbor Town. I know I keep passing by contest halls. I promise we'll come back to contests. It's just not the time for that yet. So yeah, we'll be back later. Maybe, I don't know if we're actually ever gonna come here to do contests, but maybe we will. All right, with that, we've explored everything here. We're going to head right on to Route 114. Is there a hidden item here? It looks like there should be. Nope, okay. Of course there's not. Why would there be? If it looks like there should be, there definitely won't be. I'm gonna head into this house. Not gonna read the sign because this is a funny house. My big brother's the fossil maniac. He's a nice guy who loves fossils. He loves digging holes too. He dug this hole by himself. You can have this so you can dig holes just like my big brother. TM for dig. That is a 60 power ground type move. You burrow one turn, then come up the next and deal damage. When you're in a cave, if you have a Pokemon use dig, you'll be back at the entrance in no time. Oh, that's true. You can also use dig like an escape rope. Thanks for reminding me. It's not a great move, but it's something to teach a ground type if you don't want to teach them bulldoze for some reason. And then this guy. I'm the fossil maniac. I'm a nice guy who loves fossils. I don't know why I'm a ruin maniac, because that makes me old as hell to be that guy's older brother, but whatever. Do you want a fossil? But the fossils around here all belong to me. None for you. If you can't go without a fossil, try the desert on Route 111. From what I've heard, the fossils buried in the sand sometimes rise to the surface due to sandstorms. Okay, why are you so old? That's like the normal Bug Maniac sprite in the original Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald. I don't know why they made him so old here. That does make it kind of weird that that kid's his little brother. I do need to go do something real quick and then come back. I want to come back here with Steven's Beldum in our party, the one we got through Mystery Gift that was a pre-order bonus for this particular game. Because if you do and you talk to him... Looking at your white Pokemon reminds me of the Devon president's son. I heard he traveled all the way to Kalos, crossing 3 oceans to find the white Pokemon in some kind of stone. That's what you'd expect from someone who calls himself a wandering stone collector. That is a reference to an anime special that I believe was the first appearance of Steven having a shiny Metagross, so yeah. Also, confirming that Steven is the Devon president's son. It was pretty obvious, but they spelled it out for us at least. Well, kind of. He didn't explicitly say that it, you know, he was, but it's pretty damn obvious who he's talking about. Back to Route 114, we are going to talk to this gentleman. All my Pokemon does is roar. No one dares come near me. If you would, please take this TM away. TM05 Roar. This is a move that forces the opponent to switch out, the same way that Whirlwind does on our Skarmory, and something I wasn't really thinking about when it came time to breed is that Skarmory can learn Roar, and Roar is actually factually better than Whirlwind. Whirlwind is not a bad move. Oh, it's not better. Never mind. Well, still, it's the exact same move. So, yeah, I didn't have to breed at all. We were going to get this TM anyway. For some reason, I thought Whirlwind was only 15 PP and Roar was 20, but no, they're both 20. They are literally the same move, but yeah, I didn't actually have to breed at all. I could have just stopped as soon as I got a Stealth Rock Skarmory. Whatever, though. If we were fishing, you wouldn't stand a chance against me, so bring on your Pokemon! Tell me you only have Magikarp, and tell me they're below level 15. Damn, Corphish. He knew I'd be wanting a battle for Skarmory to actually fight, but alas, she still has some levels to make up before she's able to do that. I can start switching into Manuka at least, since she's holding the Rich Incense or whatever it's called to get us some more money, because we need it badly. I don't know what drove me to spend that much on repeat balls, but I guess I thought I was going to be hunting for longer than I was for Skarmory, but it just ended up being that I wasted a bunch of money. Because they are my favorite Pokeball, but there's rarely going to be a reason for me to use them in the future. Getting some levels for Skarmory. Wants to learn Sand Attack, no thank you. That just decreases accuracy by 1 stage. We're going to be seeing Skarmory learn a lot of moves that I'm probably not going to go for here. And I can't switch back in because Wailmer will knock her out in 1 hit, so goodbye, get Leaf Bladed. $1,344, not bad. Well, not good, but not bad, I wasn't wrong. It could be worse. I like to fish, but I also like to battle. If anyone challenges me, I'm there, even if I'm fishing. Will you only have Magikarps that I can easily take out in, like, a couple hits with a Skarmory? No, you have a Gyarados! Hello! I was not expecting to see a Gyarados. I think I'm still in the mindset of, oh, early game, trainer's weak, but that is a pretty strong Pokemon. It's only level 23 at least. I don't think it's going to give me any real trouble, but jeez. Okay. Dragon Rage! Interesting! That deals a fixed 40 HP of damage, which makes this a pretty damn mean thing to be seeing this early. It's gonna go for it again. If we can knock it out in one more hit. 75 power, 90. Our best bet is gonna be Leaf Blade. Yes! Nice crit! Okay. That might have been Manuka's first time fainting if that didn't work out, honestly. She's been pretty lucky as far as not fainting goes, so yeah. Metal Claw is a pretty weak Steel-type move. It has a chance of increasing the attack stat, but not really planning on going for that. I think Steel Wing is better for Skarmory. Both in terms of, like, thematically what it looks like for the Pokemon to use it, and also just what went overhead that it's telling me to scan. Swablu, okay. I didn't know Swablu flew overhead here, that's cool. Yeah, that just looked like a spot where there was supposed to be a hidden item. Can see a tree we could make a secret base in, but it's right in the middle of that pond, so we can't get to it. It's alright. We are on the grassier part of the route now. And we can talk to this guy. No, he's not a trainer. He's gathering berries for contests, and he'll give us a Nana Berry. This can be either a Nana Berry, Raspberry, Blackberry, Weepear Berry, or Pineapple Berry, and you can get one once a day, as with basically every trainer that gives you a berry. This is a cluttered house, girl. Oh, Aura. I'm sorry everything is so cluttered. When I get engrossed in research, things end up this way. I cannot complain. I cannot keep a room organized to save my life, which may be surprising based on everything on this channel, but trust me, not my strong suit, organization. This is embarrassing. Please keep this a secret in exchange for this. A C-Dot doll. This will be a Lotad doll if you're playing Alpha Sapphire, which is infinitely better. Sorry, I really don't care about C-Dot. And she'll send that to our PC. We can also talk to her, and she'll ask if we want to organize our PC boxes more efficiently. And what this will do... It's done. I set up organized boxes at the top of the menu in the PC. If you want to return it to normal, please talk to me again. What this does is it makes it so we can, your storage system is quite convenient. It has a lot of user-friendly features that make it fun and useful, too. Makes me proud that I played a part in its development. Here's hoping that you'll continue researching storage systems. That's supposed to be from Bill, and I'm pretty sure it says so in the original games, but whatever. As I was saying, yeah, so move Pokemon is now at the top of our boxes instead of deposit Pokemon, which, yeah, that's pretty sick. I wish this was just an option you could change in the PC menu, but whatever. You can undo this by speaking to her if you don't like it for some reason, but move Pokemon being at the top is genuinely just better. Lynette is a little interesting. We know from Celio's dialogue in Fire Red and Leaf Green that she and Bill worked together to create the storage system, and that she was also involved in getting the Sevi Islands connected to the same network as her and Bill. She also has an older sister in Pokemon Box Ruby and Sapphire and Pokemon Bank and Transporter named Bridget. Or Bridget, I guess, but it's spelled like Bridget. Bridget's room in Box Ruby and Sapphire has a few Lotad dolls in it, implying this family just really likes Lotad, which I really like that. It's just a cute detail that they did not really need to add. Okay, this is a really long, winding route with lots to do, lots of trainers to fight, lots of wild Pokemon to see. So we're going to go over the bios for those wild Pokemon while I go through the route. I think that makes sense. Let's get started. Nuzleaf is... How do I put this as nicely as possible? Just pretty mediocre. It's fast enough for a middle stage evolution, and its mixed attacking stats aren't terrible. It gets Fake Out either right now or through the move relearner, allowing it some free chip damage on switch-in, but Grass and Dark is a frankly terrible defensive typing, 6 standard weaknesses, and a 4x weakness to Bug on top of barely any interesting moves are Nuzleaf's undoing. The best advice I can give you is to teach it Swords Dance via TM and then rely on Fake Out, Leaf Blade, and Brick Break. The only Dark type move it learns through level up is Feint Attack, and it only learns Dark Pulse through TM. It's not bad, just a Pokemon that tends to be very hard to find a spot for in moment-to-moment battles. With a Leaf Stone, Nuzleaf evolves into Shiftry, which can learn Nasty Plot through the move relearner, and then learns Hurricane and Leaf Storm at levels 32 and 44. After using Leaf Storm, you can use Nasty Plot to reset the stat drop and then go for it again, or you can use Nasty Plot first to get an extra powerful Leaf Storm, followed by one at normal strength. The big weakness of its mediocre typing still exists, but Shiftry is at least a Pokemon that is a lot more certain of what it wants to do than Nuzleaf was. Alpha Sapphire players get the better option here in Lombre, but not by much. Lombre's stats are just okay across the board, and it really does rely on rainy weather to really get going, which it can't even set up on its own without access to a TM. Through level up, Lombre's move pool is pretty disappointing. Fake Out is the most interesting move it really gets, and Bubble Beam will be its main attacking option outside of TMs for the majority of its life. And while Leech Seed and Giga Drain are interesting egg moves to get, they really don't do much to make Lombre better. Lombre's typing is great, only weak to Bug, Flying, and Poison, but when it really comes down to it, it plays much the same as basically every generic water type, just maybe with Energy Ball on its moveset. And unlike Shiftry, Ludicolo doesn't get anything worthwhile from the move relearner, so make sure you get everything you want on Lombre before evolving. Ludicolo's obviously just more of Lombre, but hey, how can you say no to that smile? Swablu, I recommend its hidden ability Cloud9 and otherwise have next to nothing to say about it. It'll be pretty weak for a while when you first obtain it, and it doesn't learn anything really strong until it evolves, but once it evolves, oh boy! Altaria is an excellent Pokemon. First things first, go to Fallarbor and teach it Dragon Dance through the move relearner as soon as Swablu evolves. This increases its speed and attack by 1 stage, allowing it to absolutely sweep through many opponents. This can also be combined with Dragon Claw, Earthquake, and almost any 4th move you could think of for additional coverage. The downside is, Earthquake and Dragon Claw are both exclusively learned through TM, and Altaria otherwise primarily learns special attacks. The speed boost from Dragon Dance can still be helpful, but not to the same degree. However, other advantages to Altaria include its decent bulk, allowing it to take hits, and using that bulk to stick around while firing off some still reasonably powerful special attacks while you build up a physical set. Ice Beam and Flamethrower are both options through TM, along with Dragon Pulse at level 40 and Moonblast at level 52 if you're hurting for a Fairy-type attack. And that's not even getting into how strong Altaria is when it Mega Evolves. This is one of only 2 dragons we'll have access to for most of our adventure, and it is a damn good one. Zangoose was almost a team member. It was so close. But there is no obtainable Toxic Orb in this game prior to the post-game, and that was really a killer. Zangoose thrives on getting itself poisoned, then using that status to absolutely decimate opponents with its awesome physical type coverage. If you can think of a move that involves slashing or jabbing, Zangoose probably learns it. Swords Dance boosts its already awesome attack, Slash is learned at only level 19 or return through TM, along with Quick Attack for priority, topped with access to Brick Break, Aerial Ace, Rock Slide, X-Scissor, Poison Jab, Power Up Punch, and more. Immunity is a fine ability, but if you go for Toxic Boost, its hidden ability, and pre-poison it before a battle, you can basically skip the Swords Dance and let it wreak havoc with a extra physical move on its set. That's basically my only issue. Pre-poisoning it takes some planning, and otherwise you need to set up yourself, risking Zangoose taking a hard hit and going down before it can attack. It's good, but you need to want to use it. Seviper will use some combination of Sludge Wave, Earthquake, Flamethrower, X-Scissor, Dragon Tail, Poison Jab, Dark Pulse, and Night Slash by the end of the journey, mark my words. Seviper wants so badly to be a sweeper with those awesome mixed attacking stats, but its speed and defenses are so low that it takes so much damage before it can do anything. Shedskin is kind of a bad ability when it's already immune to the most common status condition, and Infiltrator doesn't do anything for it in single player. Unfortunately, this particular stat spread is what is known as the Hoenn Special. Great offensive capabilities, but no defenses or speed to back it up. a lot of stuff happened. I found a hidden Carbos. We need to use Rock Smash to get behind this boulder. And Skarmory tried to learn Air Cutter. That is a 60 power flying type move. It's a special move, which is not very good for Skarmory, which is why I didn't go for it. And it's also 95% accurate. It has a higher chance of landing a critical hit, but it really just isn't worth it.
You guys are... Where are you taking the professor? Hey, stop right there!
I guess it's pretty hard to take him seriously. There are going to be... Comet Shard! That is a really good selling item. And there's another one here, too. A rare bone. That's another really good selling item. Yeah. So good that I absolutely just ignored the hell out of that camper and Brendan's distress, so... Yeah. There are still a lot of trainers to fight out here, so... Yeah. This is a pretty good route for getting some training in for a Pokemon that just hatched from an egg, honestly, so... I appreciate it for that, I suppose. Skarmory still can't deal with a Minun. Which is honestly a little bit embarrassing for her, but also she's a flying type, it's an electric type, it's 7 levels higher than her. I don't know. It's not that embarrassing, I guess. She's doing her best. This kid is probably just gonna have a Minun and a Plusle, so I'll cut this out if nothing interesting happens. Or it could be a Minun and a Volbeat, because that other person had a Plusle and an Illumise. Nailed it. I see you, Game Freak. I know what you are. Yep, just a Minun and a Volbeat. I absolutely nailed it. I'm guessing that it was actually going to be a Volbeat, by the way. Just absolutely crushed it. Got energy powder here. I know I'm not checking any of these secret base spots. Generally, the farther you are from civilization, the better they are as far as the layout goes, and even better if they're, like, locked behind some HM move, so... I guess I'll check out this one and see if I like it, but generally, I don't know. I have a pretty good idea of where I want my secret base to be ultimately, so I'm sort of just keeping that in mind for myself. Ooh, okay. This one does have 2 layers. Not right now, but I'm gonna keep that in mind, that there is one here that has 2 layers, because the more layers, the better, generally. It's like ogres and onions. Oh, soft sand. Good, an item that I'm definitely gonna use. Definitely. Kindler! If you're lighting a campfire or setting off fireworks, make sure you have water handy. That is basic fire safety. He knows what he's talking about. No wonder he's a kindler. Thanks for dousing my fire, I guess. Yeah, with my rocks. Dirt is another effective way to put out fire. Not really effective, probably. It's not as much as water, but as a last resort, go for it if you need to. Really? No hidden item here? That is ridiculous. They make all these spots that look perfect for hidden items, and then there's just nothing there. If you're not prepared, you shouldn't be up in the mountains. That is true. Luckily for you, Hiker Lucas, I'm always prepared. I'm never not. Okay, this is a Geodude. Skarmory is almost level 15. We have a super effective move. I want to at least see how much Steel Wing will do. And see if we can take a hit from this guy. Smackdown. We are vulnerable to any ground-type moves it may have now, so I'm going to switch out. But that wasn't bad for her first time ever hitting an opponent. That's pretty good damage. Soon enough, she'll just be fighting on her own. That'll be pretty cool. We can take a rock to the head, that's fine. Most people can. That's not true. Don't test that, actually. Don't test that theory, because, I don't know that I want people trying that. In fact, I actually know that I don't. Don't hit people with rocks in general. I don't even know what I'm saying. Words are just coming out of my mouth, and, like, I'm recommending that people hit people in the head with rocks. This is what happens when I'm just not supervised while I'm commentating. It still happens when I am supervised, but then at least usually I have, like, Ramona or Flora or somebody there to tell me to shut up. Nobody's there to do that right now. Or Aiden. Those really are the 3 defaults for me having guests on my channel, huh? Aiden, Flora, and Ramona. Okay. Are you the last trainer? I feel like I've been fighting trainers for like 12 years. There's really no hidden item here in this huge crater. That's honestly kind of disappointing. I'm not yodeling, I'm sorry. You have to shout yodel-a-hee-hoo since it doesn't echo here. Oh. Okay, so it doesn't echo, so he needs me to... Okay, well... Sorry, man. Not happening. Because it does echo where I am in this basement. I'm telling you. Alright. Not gonna have Skarmory try to fight a Machop. Machop's physical attack is just too high, and it could hurt her. She doesn't need to go getting hurt right now. Manuka can handle getting hurt for her. Gonna just Giga Drain, probably knock it out in 1 hit. Yep, that's the classic. God, I can't believe we're already in our level 30s. That's crazy. I guess it's just because I've been fighting everyone. Maybe I shouldn't be. If I stopped fighting everyone, maybe I'd stop being, like, over-leveled at least. But also, Skarmory does need to get those levels, you know? Anyway. Meteor Falls, Rustboro City through here. We've made it pretty far. All the way to the entrance of the cave where they're keeping Professor Cozmo for now. In theory, at least. I guess we don't have any confirmation of that, but yeah. Next time on Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, we're going to head into Meteor Falls to stop Team Magma kidnapping Professor Cozmo. See you guys then.